Hey guys, Greg Everett here, Catalyst Athletics. Commentary video recording the about 6 hours after it's supposed to be released. Feel like I'm doing my homework the day it's due. Just kidding, I didn't do homework in school. Steve there, some polls this week. This was last week. It was an off week for everybody. We just kind of had our second big meet of the year. So after that, after Nationals, after American Open, or in this case, we did an alternate for the American Open, I give everybody an off week, a legitimate off week. So they can technically choose to take the entire week off and not train, although I don't think I've ever had anyone do that. Usually everybody's itching pretty bad to get back in the gym. But what I do make them do is stay really light, and I don't prescribe them anything. So I tell them that it's their choice. They can do whatever they want as long as it's easy and as long as it's something different. Because along with the physical rest, I really think you need that little mental break. If you've been training really hard for 6 months or so since your last actual break, you're usually pretty mentally burnt out. Right after a big meet, you kind of come down, can crash a little hard, and you just are exhausted mentally. And the idea of getting in the gym and doing something really difficult and really heavy can be pretty unappealing. So I think it's a really important time to take that break mentally and physically and just mix it up and not have a program to be stuck with and not have to do any exercises you really don't feel like doing, especially doing them hard. So these guys still come in and then ask me what to do, and I as much as possible, I try not to tell them, but usually I end up giving them little suggestions. But so Audrey here doing some power snatch plus snatch balance. They're usually pretty good about working on things that they actually need to work on. Alyssa and Blake were smart, and they were doing power stuff off the block, so they don't even have to lean all the way over to the ground, which is fantastic. Steve was the only one who actually didn't have this week off. His was the previous week, so he actually has to do a little work. It's a 120 jerk for, I think he did 5 triples there. His jerk, pretty much not a lot to work on. He's got a really good rhythm on that dip and drive. He can drive the shit out of the bar. Even his heaviest snatches he catches pretty high, jerks. But he will start getting a little weird and leaning back. So rather than being in that good position where you see where he's torso's vertical, shoulders open all the way, he'll kind of lean back away from it so the shoulder is actually partially closed, and he's in this crazy position where it looks like he can't put his arm over his head. So we work on a few things for that. Some push jerk behind the neck and split is a good exercise for that. It gets you really strong in that position and comfortable with it. Alyssa here doing some snatch high pull plus hang power snatch, which was remarkably prescient of her since this week these guys started doing snatch high pull plus power snatch plus hang snatch. So she kind of was already on the right track, although I'm sure she sensed that coming since we started our last big cycle with that stuff. Steve here, 100 kilo push press. I think his best push press is 141 or 142. He beat me by 1 or 2 kilos just to be an asshole. But I still got him in the snatch and the clean and jerk, so it's fine. I don't care. I don't care about the push press. 6+1. Push press, I forget where this came up, but the push press to me is a really, really useful exercise for almost every weightlifter. There's some people I won't use it with, but if you can keep it quick enough, it's not going to interfere with the jerk mechanics or the timing at all. And it really gets people driving straight, learning how to bring that bar back overhead with the arms, and driving high all the way up through the bar. So I think it has a lot of really important carryover to the jerk itself. It's quite a bit different than doing strict presses or benching or something like that, where it's much more of a slow grinding movement, and that can kind of mess with the timing and the rhythm of the jerk, and also bind up that shoulder girdle a bit. Bench in particular to really screw with the jerk. Blake here about to fall off the back of the platform with some power snatches. Dude, you were like... He had the best meet of his life last weekend. Did 112 and 144, so it's a 256 total, which was a 9 kilo competition total PR. So that's pretty much unheard of. But he just has really had some big improvements with his consistency lately, and has been able to hit those heavier snatch and clean and jerks a lot more reliably than he had in the past. So really blew the doors off of that one, and now he's set up in a good position to he'll most likely be in the A session of the upcoming Nationals. So we'll be good to go. And he's got one more here, I'm sure. Triple. I don't know why these guys would choose to do triples on their own, but they did. All right, guys. Hopefully this gets out in time so you don't freak out and think we went out of business today. And I will talk to you next week.